Hello, my sweet friends. Welcome to day 4 of our 7-day nervous system reset program. The intention for today's class is to feel your emotions. There's an invitation to go inward, to just notice, take stock of whatever feelings or emotions or sensations are coming up for you. As we learned from yesterday or the previous class, what we think can very much influence how we feel. And how we feel can influence our internal dialogue. They go hand in hand. And our internal dialogue and how we feel can really impact our physical, mental, and emotional health. So this class offers an invitation to you to go inward and just notice, acknowledge, and recognize whether there's any feelings or emotions that are coming to the surface for you. And if not, it's all good. It's just simply an invitation. For today's class, please bring a rectangular bolster with you. If you don't have one, you can use 2 pillows and then stack them on top of one another to create your own bolster. I also recommend bringing a blanket or a yoga block to your space. And without further ado, let's get started. Join me on the mat in a cross-legged seat. I invite you to sit on a folded blanket or a pillow to offer yourself a gentle lift. Explore finding length through your back body. Perhaps imagine that there's a string attached to the crown of your head, inviting more length throughout your spinal chain. Gently place your left hand on your belly, and then place your right hand on top of your left hand. Take a slow breath in through your nose, and then breathe out through your mouth. Direct your focus down and past your nose, or close your eyes. Take a moment to notice areas of tension in your body. Can you soften your jaw by parting your teeth and your lips? Can you relax your shoulders down a little more, creating a little more space? Notice if you are experiencing tightness in your abdomen. Can you direct your breath down towards your belly to encourage this area to soften? Check in with your glute muscles. Notice if you're clenching this area, and maybe encourage this area to soften through the mind-to-body connection. Wiggle your toes, and then explore stillness. Allow your breath to flow through you here, as the breath can help us soften areas of tension. We started off with the body scan to give us the opportunity to check in with our physical body. Now, what's happening on the physical layer can provide us with clues as to what's happening beneath the surface. In other words, how we feel emotionally. Consider how your body responds when you feel happy, joyous, and content. Perhaps your physical body feels more relaxed and open. Now consider how your physical body responds to sadness and grief. Maybe you curl inwards, finding a protective and nurturing state. What happens to your physical body when you experience feelings of anger, fear, or stress? Maybe you clench your teeth. Maybe you tighten up your limbs and your core. Your emotions affect your physical health and vice versa. So if you found that there were many areas that felt tight while you were doing the body scan, please know that you are not alone. This tension can feel like a natural state, especially if certain emotions are not processed or recognized and then become stuck in the body. So this class invites you to acknowledge how you are feeling. If you can, name the feeling. For example, I am feeling overwhelmed. If you're unsure of what you're feeling, that's okay too. Together, we'll explore a number of yoga poses that can help release trapped emotions from the body. Take a slow breath in through your nose and a long exhale out through your mouth. I invite you to open your eyes. Gently place your palms on your knees. As you breathe in, roll your pelvis back as you find a gentle lift in your sternum and your chin. And on your breath out, round through your low, mid, and upper back body. Bow your head. As you breathe in, reach your tailbone back, low back arches slightly, lift your chest and your chin to find extension. Breathe out to round through your spine. I invite you to continue this rocking motion, moving with your breath. I invite you to close your eyes to help you visualize the movement that's taking place throughout your entire spinal chain. Maybe you can sense the individual parts that help you explore this movement. Permission to continue this rocking motion, or you can explore moving your torso in a circular motion. Stirring the pot, encouraging movement throughout the entire spinal chain. When we feel certain emotions in the body, the physical response might be tension. One of the areas where tension can accumulate is throughout the back body. The spine can start to feel quite stiff. So spinal movements can be very useful to help reduce tension and to encourage a healthy flow of energy, which are all good things for emotional health. Feel free to take your circle in the other direction. All right, allow your circle to decrease in size until you eventually find stillness. Please turn your body to face towards one of the short edges of your mat. Send your legs out long and then place your hands at your sides. Point and flex through your feet. So point your toes away from your body and then lift your toes so that way they point towards the sky. As you do this movement, I invite you to notice which muscles become activated. Is the movement smooth? Or perhaps a little jumpy? All right, relax your feet. And then bring your right leg in, bending at your right knee. Use your hands to help you guide your right ankle to sit on top of your left thigh. Your right knee opens to the right side. Flex through your right foot and spread through your toes. With your hands on the earth, begin to bend at your left knee until the sole of your left foot is on your mat. If you are looking for a deeper stretch in your hip and glute muscle, you can move your seat a little closer towards your left heel. With your hands on the earth, I invite you to lift up through your heart space and lift your chin slightly. Imagine that you're at a beach and you're enjoying how the warm sun feels on your skin. Notice the flow of your breath. Can you play around with sending your breath down towards your belly for a few more cycles of breath? All right, slowly make your way out of the pose and then send both legs out long. Bring your left leg in and then place your left ankle on top of your right thigh. Flex through your left foot. Now begin to slide your right foot in until the sole of your right foot is on the ground. I invite you to take note of how this side feels. Which side feels more open? Find a gentle lift in your heart space and lift your chin slightly. I invite you to notice whether any feelings or emotions are coming to the surface right now. Maybe you can name the emotion, or perhaps you're uncertain about how you're feeling, but you do feel a sensation in your body. I invite you to lean into that feeling and use your breath to offer comfort, support, and love. Okay, let's release the stretch. And when you're ready, send both legs out long and then give them a little shake to encourage the leg muscles to soften and relax. Explore stillness. Bring your legs back in, placing the soles of your feet on your mat and walking your feet wider than hip distance apart. Now, melt your knees over to the right, allowing the soles of your feet to lift away from your mat. Play around with aligning your right knee with your right hip point and your right heel with your right knee so that there's a 90-degree angle at the back of your right knee. So same thing with your left leg, aligning your left knee with your left hip and your left heel is in line with your left knee. There's an option to place a yoga block or a folded blanket under your left hip. Flex through both feet and spread through your toes. Kindly face towards your right shin. Lean forward slightly as you place your fingertips on the ground. Explore some gentle movement throughout your spine, perhaps pressing away from the ground as you round through your upper back. And then explore movement in the opposite direction, lifting up through your heart space. And then rounding through once again. So I invite you to continue this movement, or you can play around with lowering down onto your forearms, tucking in your chin slightly as you look down at the ground. And wherever you've landed, I invite you to breathe deeply. If you're on your forearms, connect to your center, lift up onto your hands, and then make your way to an upright position. Okay, let's take it over to the other side. Keep your feet active as you melt your knees over to the left side. Align each knee with a hip and each heel with a knee, making two 90-degree angles at the backs of your knees. Move from center as you move your upper body so that way you're facing towards your left shin. Place your fingertips on the ground as you explore some organic spinal movement. And there's an option to stay here, or you can fold forward, lowering onto your forearms. We are spending some time opening up through the hips today, as a lot of different emotions can be stored in the hips, like fear, sadness, frustration. With this in mind, visualize sending your breath to your hips. Perhaps on your exhalation, you say, release or let go. Your brain can hear these words and may create a physical response in your body as a result. All right, connect to your center, come up onto your palms, and then press yourself up to an upright position. Very slowly, lift your knees away from the ground. If you are not already there, please sit near the middle of your mat, facing towards one of the short edges. Walk your feet wider than hip distance apart, and then melt your knees over to the right side, and then over to the left. Continue moving your knees back and forth, maybe without using your hands. And as you do this, sense the movement that's taking place in your hip sockets. It's very likely that you're moving on your mat, so feel free to allow that to happen. And eventually bring your knees back to center. So let's have some fun here. I invite you to extend your legs out long. Bring your palms together in prayer position at your heart. Now, without using your hands, make your way back to the other short edge of your mat. What muscles do you use to help you accomplish this movement? And once you are close to the other edge of your mat, I invite you to cross at your ankles and then make your way to all fours. Please position yourself so that way you're roughly near the middle of your mat. Feel free to place a folded blanket under your knees. Place your wrists underneath your shoulders and your knees under your hip points. Notice the tops of your feet on your mat. Feel each fingerprint's connection to the ground. Lengthen through your low back by rocking your pelvis forward. Curl your right toes under and then slide your right foot back. Take a breath in here. And as you breathe out, hug your right knee in and then round through your spine. Press away from your mat as you really hug your knee in towards your chest. And then step your right foot between your hands. Root down through your left leg and the top of your foot. Connect to your center as you lift your chest away from your thigh and then place your hands on your right thigh. To help maintain your balance here, pull your right hip crease back and then imagine that you are squeezing your thighs in towards the middle of your mat. Now, interlace your fingers and then gently place your hands on the back of your head. You can extend your thumbs down to cradle your neck. Really open up through your elbows. Lift your heart and your chin slightly. Direct your focus towards the sky. Take a loving breath in and a loving breath out. I invite you to reflect upon this question. Is there anything that you've been wanting to say but haven't been able to? I love postures that can help stimulate the throat chakra, as it serves as a reminder that I have something to say. I have a voice. My thoughts and my feelings matter. All right, take a breath in here. Breathe out to release the bind, fold forward, and then place your hands on your mat. Plant your palms, and then step it back to a tabletop position. Beautiful. Curl your left toes under, and then slide your left foot back. Take a breath in here, and as you breathe out, hug your left knee in towards your chest, press away from the ground as you round through your spine. Now, step your left foot between your hands. Press into all that is touching the earth to help you rise up, placing your hands on your left thigh to start. Explore ways to find more steadiness and ease in your lunge, such as pulling your left hip crease back, rooting down through your back foot, hugging your belly button in towards your spine for that core connection and support. Now, interlace your fingers and then place your hands on the back of your head. Lift your heart and your chin slightly. Direct your focus towards the sky. Can you feel that sweet stretch in your right hip flexor? Notice where you feel the stretch start and where the stretch ends. Breathe in, breathe out. Release the bind and send your hands forward. Begin to fold forward and then plant your hands on your mat. Step your left foot back, where we will meet in a tabletop position. Bring your big toes together and then walk your knees towards the long edges of your mat. Walk your right hand in towards the center of your mat as you place your left fingertips on your right wrist. Allow your left fingertips to draw a line up your right arm, across your chest, and then reach your left hand towards the sky. Perhaps you direct your focus towards your left hand. Take a breath in here. And then on your breath out, allow your eyes to follow your hand as you send your left hand behind your right arm. Allow your left arm and the left side of your head to rest on your mat. You can keep your right palm where it is, or you can walk your right hand forward, reaching towards the top of your mat. This pose offers such a lovely stretch to the shoulders and the upper back body. Do you sometimes feel like you are carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders? In other words, do you feel as if you are taking on a lot of responsibilities? An increase in physical and mental workload can create shoulder tension. Consider the emotions that come up when we feel that we are doing too much or that we've taken on too much. So this pose is really great for helping us feel the effects of taking on too much, and it also gives us an opportunity to soften and release this tension using our precious breath. All right, let's breathe in together. And then on the breath out, slide your right hand back in, press your palm into the ground to help you unravel, and then press up to all fours. Place your left hand near the center of your mat. Gently place your right fingertips on your left wrist. Very lightly, trace a line with your right fingertips up your left arm, across your chest, and then reach your right hand towards the sky. Direct your focus up and towards your hand. Take a breath in here, and as you breathe out, allow your eyes to follow your hand as you send your right hand behind your left arm. Release your right arm and the side of your head to your mat. You can choose to keep your left hand exactly where it is, or you can walk your left hand forward and towards the top edge of your mat. Wherever you have landed, I invite you to bring your breath. Follow the flow of your breath. Feel how your breath moves your physical body. Notice how the breath can change how you feel. Let's take a breath in together through the nose. And then as you breathe out, slide your left hand back in. Your palm presses down. Using the support of your left hand, unravel, and then press up to all fours. Bring your legs and your feet together, and then sit back towards your heels. Take a nourishing breath in, and as you breathe out, melt your heart space towards your thighs, and then release your forehead to the earth. Slowly slide your hands back towards the back edge of your mat. Palms face up and fingers soften. There's an option to explore this pose on your back with your knees hugging in towards your chest. Feel free to choose that option if that feels better for you. Wherever you've landed, I invite you to find a gentle sway from side to side. Allow your shoulders and upper back body to soften. Surrender the weight of your body onto the surface beneath you. An invitation to let go of anything that you've been carrying or holding on to that's not serving you well in the present moment. Allow yourself to feel whatever emotions may be coming to the surface. And if these emotions feel uncomfortable, I invite you to deepen your breath. Take a nourishing breath in through your nose. Breathe out through your mouth. Slide your hands forward, and then very slowly press up to all fours. Take your time. When you are there, swing your legs to one side, and then make your way to a seat on your mat. For our final pose, kindly place your bolster or firm pillow vertically on your mat near the short edge of your mat. This item will support your back body when you go to lay down. A really nice to have item for this pose is a blanket. If you have one available, fold that blanket a couple of times and then roll the edge that's the longest until you have a blanket roll. We will use this item in a moment. So sit on your mat so that way your low back is resting against one of the short edges of your bolster or your pillow. Place the soles of your feet on your mat. Walk your feet together and then open your knees wide. Place your blanket roll on the tops of your feet and then wrap each end around your ankles, tugging at the ends as you bring them in towards each other. This prop will offer support to the legs and the hips when we enter a supported reclined butterfly pose. Another option is to place yoga blocks or couch cushions beneath each leg to lift the earth up to meet you. All right, let's slowly lower down onto the forearms and then onto the back body. Your back and head should be fully supported by your bolster or your pillow. Feel free to make any adjustments until you find a place of comfort and ease. Slowly release your arms to your sides, palms face up, and allow your fingers to soften and curl in. Take a breath in through your nose, and as you breathe out through your mouth, close your eyes. We will be resting here in silence for a moment. As you rest here, I invite you to pay attention to what you feel in your body. Maybe that's a gentle stretch, an interesting sensation. Maybe your stomach is rumbling because you're hungry. Maybe you feel warm or a little cool. Just notice. Breathe in through your nose. And now breathe out through your mouth like you're trying to fog up a mirror. Breathe in. Breathe out like you're trying to fog up a mirror. I invite you to continue breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Really empty all the air out on your breath out. All right, breathe in as you normally would, and breathe out. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And when you feel ready, open your eyes. Gently place your fingertips on your outer thighs, and then draw your legs together. Slowly roll over to one side, using your hands to support you as you press yourself up to a seat on your mat. Remove the blanket if you were using one, and then place it to the side. Place your hands on your heart and bow your head, connecting mind to heart. Can you feel your heartbeat beneath your hands? Can you feel your breath moving your hands? How does your heart feel? Take a quiet moment to thank yourself for showing up for today's practice. Let's take a loving breath in together and a loving breath out. Thank you for joining me on the mat today. I'll see you tomorrow for day 5 of our journey. Sending lots of love to you. We close by saying thank you or namaste.